Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome into NBA Now. I'm your host, Harris Rubenstein. The season is just 1 week away. We've been rolling through plenty of preseason games so far, but the season right around the corner. We got a lot of injuries to go through. We got a lot of rumors to go through. So let's start off with our weekly Jimmy Butler trade update because, we just have to know what's going on at all times because Jimmy Butler, I guess, is, top 30 player in the NBA. I don't know. Still a big question mark for me, but big time update, he still wants to be traded. I know, what a huge surprise. It's not a big surprise seeing as he wanted to be traded 2 months ago. The Timberwolves still haven't found a trade for him and nothing has changed. That's the update. Nothing has changed so far. The Timberwolves have not been able to find a deal for him. The owner still wants him traded. Tom Thibodeau doesn't want to trade him because he knows if he misses the playoffs, he's going to get fired. And the Timberwolves' asking price is still way too high. So this time we know that the Timberwolves want a young player, a couple of veterans, and also cap relief. Basically, they want to get rid of Gorgui Dieng's contract and roast any team in a trade just like they got roasted by the Chicago Bulls. The only issue is that we're 1 week away from the season and nobody is going to give them that trade package. They went to the Bucks and asked for Chris Middleton, got shut down really quick. The 76ers called about Jimmy Butler, and the 76ers were asked for Ben Simmons. So it doesn't really sound like the Timberwolves really want to make this trade. I understand that Glenn Taylor, the owner of the Timberwolves, really wants him to get traded, but I'm just worried that we're going to get into a situation here, just like with the Kevin Garnett trade, where the owner is going to get involved to get the disgruntled star out of the team, and they're going to get killed on a trade package. So I know they want to trade him. I know that Jimmy Butler wants to be traded. I wonder if they keep him for the next couple of months. He has to play. He has to get that max contract at the end of this year. So he's going to have to play no matter what. If I'm the Timberwolves, I continue to play hardball with Jimmy Butler. He requested a trade 3 weeks before the season and is under contract for this year. So either don't play Jimmy Butler or play and suck it up and wait for the trade deadline. That's what I would do if I'm the Timberwolves. There's no reason for them to be in a rush to trade this guy. I get that they want to make the playoffs this year, but look, sometimes it's better to have some principle than just folding to every single NBA star that wants a trade. This sets a terrible precedent, by the way. I know that the NBA is a star-dominated league. I've said this multiple times. It's different from every single other sport outside of European soccer. If you are a star in the NBA, you can't just randomly get traded when you want to. They can't have this precedent be set. If you're the Timberwolves, you got to wait till the trade deadline. Don't just fold his request because he randomly came up with a trade request, a month before the season. But we'll have all of this and more on the NBA Now by Chat Sports YouTube channel. Head to chatsports.com/NBA TV. Subscribe, people. We already have over 3,000 subscribers on that channel. I want to get to 5,000. So go to NBA Now by Chat Sports on YouTube, or just type in chatsports.com/NBA TV. Subscribe. You'll see my beautiful face along with all the Jimmy Butler trade rumors you can handle. By the way, those 5 possible trades that we have for Jimmy Butler coming up, those are going to end up on that channel. So check it out after the show. All right, let's go through a couple more rumors and news here. Let's start with Kevin Durant. Apparently, he's as happy as we've ever seen him, according to multiple sources with the Golden State Warriors. The source also says how much he loves the situation and playing with the team. Look, I've brought it up multiple times about Kevin Durant leaving in free agency next offseason. I've talked about the Lakers. For whatever reason, people think Kevin Durant's going to go to the Knicks. It's going to be really difficult for Kevin Durant to turn down almost $200 million with the Golden State Warriors. Straight up. That's going to be an incredibly difficult thing for a player of his caliber to turn down, because this is a guy who has complained over and over again about how, I hate being the number 2 guy. I was the number 2 pick in the draft and I'm the number 2 player to LeBron. He can stay in Golden State with Steph Curry, with Klay Thompson, most likely without Draymond Green if they do end up keeping Durant and Thompson. But he can stay with that group and likely win at least another title to end up with 4 for his career. It's a really tough thing to turn down. So I want to know from you guys, will KD re-sign with the Warriors this offseason? Give me an A for yes or give me a B for no. I've been in the no category for a while, thinking he was going to join LeBron with the Lakers. But the more and more I think about it, he loves Silicon Valley. He loves Steph Curry. He loves the Warriors' open system. I think it's going to be difficult for him to eventually leave. I think there's a higher chance of him staying with the Warriors than, Instagram and myself here on YouTube have been initially portraying. But let me know in the comment section below if you think Kevin Durant will re-sign with the Warriors this offseason. Let's go into a really nice story. So, if you didn't know this, Terry Rozier's father was in jail for 13 years. He had never watched his son play basketball until this past weekend. So Terry Rozier's father was arrested for kidnapping and robbery during a break-in gone wrong. There was also a murder that happened during that same break-in. However, Rozier's father was not involved with that. But a really nice story. Rozier's father obviously been in jail, but his son and him have been keeping in contact once a week since he's been in prison. But this was the first time that Terry Rozier's father had ever watched his son play a basketball game. He missed all of his middle school games. He missed all of his high school games. He missed all of his college games. And obviously he's missed every single game that Terry has played in the NBA so far. So Rozier Sr. saying, quote, "I'm so proud of him. It's a true blessing to get to watch my son play in the NBA." And Rozier Jr., obviously Terry Rozier, says, quote, "I've been thinking about this for years." I love stories like this. Obviously, it's not great that his father was in jail for, a decade and a half, but it is great to see him come out, see that him and his son still have a great relationship. And now that that's behind them, hopefully they can start to develop a much more real-life relationship as father and son. So good on you, Rozier Jr. and Sr. I can't wait to see Sr. at a couple more games. But I want to know from you guys, do you like winning money? I do. That's why I use BetDSI. Head to chatsports.com/bet. I made a ton of money on the NFL this weekend. I'm going to be betting on so many NBA games this year. Way too many NBA games this year for it to be healthy. So head to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. And you guys can bet along with me. Every single week on this show, I will be going through my best bets of the week in terms of what games you guys should bet on and who should win. So check out chatsports.com/bet. Get that deposit bonus in now so you guys can have plenty of money once the NBA season starts. All right. Probably the saddest news of the week. Not necessarily sad, more just disappointing if anything. Dejounte Murray tore his ACL really bad. His knee buckled in a preseason game versus the Rockets. Was the youngest player to have ever ended up on an all-defensive team, made all-defense second team last year, was set for a huge breakout season this year, a full starting job as the leader of the new offense with no Kawhi Leonard. And unfortunately, he will miss the entire season. We got that last night into this morning. So, without Murray, it's also bad because Lonnie Walker, the other young point guard on the Spurs, he's going to miss about 6 to 8 weeks after he had to go through some arthroscopic knee surgery as well. So Patty Mills will take over as the starting point guard. Obviously, still have DeRozan, Rudy Gay, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Pau Gasol. The only point guards on this roster right now, with obviously Tony Parker going to the Charlotte Hornets, which is still super weird to me, is Derek White, the guy they had in the G League last year. They drafted in the first round, played a little bit in the playoffs, but didn't get a ton of minutes. So now, Patty Mills, Derek White going to have to man the point guard spot for this new Spurs offense. Though with Murray out, this will open up a lot of playtime for Lonnie Walker when he does end up coming back, probably in about a month or two. All right, let's go to Kyrie Irving committing to the Celtics. If you're a Celtics fan, this is exactly what you want to hear. So during a season ticket holder preseason event, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford were invited onto the court to talk about the upcoming season and the future beyond, where Kyrie Irving stood up and said, quote, "If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here next season." I can't remember the last time that we have had a NBA soon-to-be free agent have such a public commitment to their team. Now, we've had it with guys who were drafted by their team, and there are some hints about them leaving. I can't remember the last time we had a player of Kyrie Irving standards who, was traded away from the Cavs, traded to Boston, missed last season with an injury, everything that's going on around him with, his upcoming contract, for him to just outwardly come out and say, "Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm going to sign that max deal," when they offer it. This all goes back to what I've been telling you guys 4 months. Kyrie Irving to the Knicks, to the Nets with Jimmy Butler, whatever it was a load of baloney from the beginning. And I'm telling you that for months. It never made any sense at all. Why would he want to get traded from the Cavs, a dysfunctional organization, to get traded to the Celtics probably one of the most fluid and best from top to bottom organizations in sports in the Boston Celtics, to only go to the Knicks, who are the worst run team in the NBA. Without not even question, they're the worst run team in the NBA. So with him giving such a public commitment, and obviously him not signing the contract last year because he wants more money, I want to know from you guys. How many rings will Boston win with Kyrie Irving? Obviously, they'll end up having him for 5 years. They'll get Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown under a deal. Gordon Hayward has 3 years left on his contract as well. So let me know in the comment section. I say 2. I think the Celtics are going to end up with 2 because I think Kevin Durant will eventually leave the Warriors and we'll see another league reshuffling. But it seems like this Celtics team is going to be really, really good for at least the next half decade. But if you want to look as good as I do on air, you got to get yourself a Mizzen and Main shirt. Head to www.comfortable.af to get your Mizzen and Main shirt today. I say this on every show because I'm not lying about it. I have 8 of these. They're so comfortable. I will never need another dress shirt for the rest of my life. So head to comfortable.af to get your shirt today because these shirts are comfortable as F. Let's get to the most confusing piece of news of the week. This happened yesterday. The Suns fired their GM a week before the season started. I don't really know why. I'm not really sure what they're trying to gain here, but he's gone. Incredibly strange timing, seeing as Ryan McDonough this offseason alone, hired a new coach, drafted a player number 1 overall, and signed multiple free agents. And then they fire him. Very weird. It's a very, very strange situation. But I'll just remember this. I've said this on a couple shows. Bad teams stay bad. Whether it's the Kings, whether it's the Hawks, whether it's the Suns, bad teams always find a way to stay bad. Ryan McDonough has done everything in his power to retool and rebuild this Suns team. He drafted Devin Booker. He drafted DeAndre Ayton. He drafted Josh Jackson. He drafted TJ Warren. Sure, he swung and missed on Dragon Bender, but hell, Danny Ainge drafted Fab Melo. Remember that? Everyone has bad times. So overall, I have no idea why the Suns did this. I think this is a terrible move. Ryan McDonough is one of my favorite GMs in the NBA, and I thought he's done a great job with this current Suns roster, but he'll be replaced by James Jones. Yes, that James Jones, like the Miami Heat James Jones who followed LeBron James around everywhere. He's the vice president of basketball operations for Phoenix, and then Trevor Buckstein, one of the directors of player scouting, he will also be taking over for Ryan McDonough. We'll let you guys know when the Suns inevitably hire a new GM. Watch out for David Griffin. He'll certainly be an option for them.